What's up, my fellow Shield Brothers? Shield Brother 6 here with the 8th episode of A Day in the Life. Today we will be talking about the role and armament of the Swiss Guards and what exactly they were. So let's get started on this terrific Monday. So what are they? Well, Swiss Guards are the Swiss soldiers who had served as bodyguards, ceremonial guards, and palace guards at foreign European courts since the late 15th century. Apart from household and guard units, regular Swiss mercenary regiments have served as line troops in various armies. Notably, those of France, Spain, and Naples up to the 19th century have served. In the contemporary usage, the name Swiss Guard generally refers to the pontifical Swiss Guard of the holy sites such as Rome and the Vatican. Down left, bottom left, you can see that, and that's the general one we're going to be seeing in this episode today. So the history. Various units of Swiss Guards existed for hundreds of years. The earliest such unit was the Swiss Hundred Guard, the Cent Suisse, of the French court from 1497 to 1830. This small force was complemented in 1567 by a Swiss Guards regiment. The Papal Swiss Guard, now located in Vatican City, which is the one that's still in use the most, was founded in 1506 and is the only extant Swiss Guard. In the 18th century and early 19th century, several other Swiss Guards existed for periods in various European courts. The use of Swiss soldiers as royal guards and as the pontifical guard stems from the reputation of Swiss mercenaries at the time of their formation and the high quality of their weaponry and tactics. Since Switzerland was a poor country, young men often sought their fortunes abroad as mercenaries with these groups. Having a reputation for discipline, loyalty, and employing revolutionary battle tactics, they were considered the most powerful troops of the 15th century, until their methods were refined by the Landsknecht in the early 16th century. I totally butchered that, I'm so sorry. The uniform. So, the uniform is quite a wacky one, and the official dress uniform is blue, red, orange, and yellow with a distinctly Renaissance appearance, as you can see on the top. Commandant Jules Respond, that served from 1910 to 1921, created the current uniforms in 1914. The regular duty uniform is more functional, consisting of a simple solid blue version of the more colorful tricolor Grand Gala uniform. We'll see the solid blue one later in this episode. And it's worn with a simple brown belt, a flat white collar, and a black beret. For new recruits and rifle practice, a simple light blue overall with a brown belt is often worn. During colder, inclement weather, a dark blue cape is worn over the regular uniform. The original colors, the blue and yellow, were issued by Pope Julius II, and then taking his family the Della Rovere colors. But Pope Leo X added the red to reflect his family's Medici colors. If you recognize the Medici family, you probably will. They were a very prominent family of the Renaissance and Italian history. So let's talk about their issued arms. And we're going to start with their traditional arms. So, their traditional arms, they had the sword and the commandant's baton and the command baton, which are pictured there and there. And then you had the partisan and the halberd, which is very iconic and often seen with the Swiss Guards and other Swiss mercenaries. They're partisan and halberds. They are iconic, especially for the Swiss. There's the flamberge and the cuirass with spalders, which is pictured there with the full set of armor. And then we get into the modern armament that is often used today, Swiss Guard, in the Vatican, etc. Which bottom there you could see the blue uniform I was talking about, the modern one. So they use a variety of firearms, including the Dreyse M 1907, which was retired, the SIG P20, the Pig 22O, which is a P75. They have the Glock 19, the Heckler & Koch MP5A3, they have the Heckler & Koch MP7A1, the SIG SG550, and the SIG SG552. So you can see that they have very modern weapons, very useful weapons, and they are often employed in terrorist and more extreme situations, although not often they are brought to service today as much as they were in the past. So let's talk about the rank system. But before I do, I want to say that the Swiss Guard was considered a very high-end means of kind of house protection, such as in Shakespeare's play Hamlet, his uncle orders his regiment of Swiss to guard the door when they're about to have their duel. And that can mean many things, because even today, in the Norwegian, I believe, Army and House Protection, they call that division of the Royal House Protection the Swiss, because it has that connotation of great protection and great loyalty. So let's talk about their ranking system. So the commissioned officers, there's the Oberst, which is a colonel, the Oberstlieutenant, the lieutenant colonel, the Kaplan, which is a chaplain, the major, and they have 2 Hauptmanns, which are captains. And then as for non-commissioned officers, they have the Feldwebel, which is a sergeant major, they have the Wachtmeister, which is a sergeant, the corporal, which is a corporal, they have the vice corporal, which is a vice corporal, and they have the halberdier and the gardist, which are halberdiers and guardsmen, which are the ones that you see with the halberds in their fancy uniforms at the doors of the Vatican, etc. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed a little bit. I hope you learned about the Swiss Guard and what they are and what they look like. And if you did, go ahead and leave me a like. If you did not, leave me a dislike. If you have a comment, a suggestion, or a concern, you can leave that down for me below. And on Thursday, you can tune in for our regular video. And next Monday will be another What If Monday. And with that, I'll catch y'all next time.